In today's episode, Sampurnakumar, I think I got that right, asks, what level of data quality do you need for AI to be successful? Does it require the best data and the best data usage to solve problems? So, one of the problems with AI today, conceptually, is that it is seen as this mysterious entity that we don't fully understand. That it's, no one can understand what's going on in the machine, which is patently untrue. Any qualified AI practitioner should immediately debunk this concept that we don't know what's going on inside the AI. Because AI, is, at least as it is being used in commercial business applications. Now, I'm sure there are some things in academia which people are still researching, hence it's research. But for commercial use, for things that we're doing in business, if you don't know what's going on inside the box, you did it wrong, right? AI, particularly traditional machine learning, there's no excuse for not knowing what the machine is doing. And so when we take the phrase AI away, one of the tricks that I like to do is to substitute the word spreadsheet. Because at its core, AI is just math, right? It's nothing more than doing math, stats and probability. Re-ask that question. What level of data quality do you need for a spreadsheet to be successful? Right? That's a lot easier to understand. Right? You need a minimum data quality, otherwise your spreadsheets will be wrong. Right? And if your spreadsheets are wrong, you're going to make bad decisions. So the question is less about the type of data quality you need for AI to work, and more about the type of data quality you need to get the outcome you're looking for. AI does not solve new problems, right? AI solves existing business and math and marketing problems that we don't have the scale to handle, or we don't have the time to handle, but we've previously tried to handle them, right? If you do image classification is something we do all day, right? You see a crowded store and you recognize a person's face that you know, that's image recognition. You do that already. So you're not doing anything brand new. You're just doing, AI is just doing that faster and at greater scale. When you're trying to solve a complex mathematical question, you could do 300 variable multiple regression analysis by hand. You would not do it quickly, and it wouldn't be a lot of fun, but it can be done. Right? It is something that a human being could do. It is just not efficient for a human being to do so. So think about, with AI and the data quality you need and the data usage, how would a human tackle this? What level of data quality would a human being need in order to make this work? If you had a spreadsheet open, how would you solve that problem with a spreadsheet, and what data quality would you need? A lot of the time, data quality comes down to risk assessment. What level of error are you comfortable with? What level of error is acceptable? If you're doing marketing, right, and you're doing campaign targeting and plus or minus 5%, probably not going to break the bank unless you're deploying like a multi-billion-dollar marketing campaign. But if you're dropping $1,000 on a Facebook ad, right, what level of error are you comfortable with? Probably you're pretty comfortable with a fairly wide margin of error, right? On the other hand, if you are doing medical devices and the device that you are programming and building a model for is going to be implanted in thousands of human beings, your margin of error is really small, right? Or it should be if you're an ethical practitioner, because you want to have as little error as possible and therefore risk as few lives as possible, right? There's a much higher standard for error. There's a much lower tolerance for error in cases like that, as there should be. So data quality at its core is really about risk mitigation. What level of risk are you comfortable with? What level of risk is your organization comfortable with? How wrong are you allowed to be? Because remember, when you take data that you have and you feed it to AI, all it's doing is processing the same data just at a larger scale. So the margin of error may be the same, plus or minus 3%. It's just that instead of a spreadsheet with 1,000 rows, you may be looking at a data set with 1 billion rows, and 5% of 1 billion is a much larger absolute number than 5% of 1,000. But if you're comfortable with that level of error, great. Now, one of the things that AI is capable of doing, because again, it's all just math, is identifying very quickly whether something has greater error than we thought, right? So you have this piece of software developed or this data set you're working with, and it shows, an MAE or an MSE or an RMSE or any of the error metrics, area under curve, and the numbers are wildly off. You're like, that doesn't look right. When you run into situations like that, that is an opportunity for you to use these tools and say, I think there's more wrong with this data than we thought. The reason we don't do that more is because most practitioners who work with data, at least in marketing, I'll caveat that, in marketing, do not have a formal background of any kind in exploratory data analysis. The ability to look at a data set and go, there's some things wrong here, right? That's a skill that people lack, and that's certainly a skill that I would like to see more marketers adopt and embrace, is the ability to do exploratory data analysis in order to find what level of error is wrong in the data to begin with. If you don't do that, you can never know that. And then, you do have, at that point, the worst case scenario. You have unknown risk. You don't know what the risks are, and that's very dangerous because it could be 2%, it could be 200%, and you could be in for a really bad time, as the South Park characters say. So that's the answer to that question. Substitute the word spreadsheet and then ask yourself, what level of risk are you comfortable with in your data in order to make the determination whether you've got good enough data to use with artificial intelligence and machine learning. Thanks for the question. Please leave your follow-up questions below. As always, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Want help solving your company's data analytics and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.